All right. We are here with a bloody exciting series. This is a match straight from DreamHack Masters Valencia between two of the biggest fan favorites, SCARLETT, one of the most famous Zergs of all time, and she's been on an absolute tear lately. This is super exciting because she is playing against HARSTEM, everybody's favorite YouTuber, content creator, commentator, and part-time awesome pro gamer that has been absolutely destroying lately. He had an amazing run in the regionals, and he showed up to Valencia and just looked awesome. Beat a lot of amazing players, and he looked fantastic. So this series is so exciting because you've got SCARLETT, who was kind of popping off, looking really good, but Neeb is just on another level right now, so he did knock her down in the regionals, but she's still looking good, and she also, at this tournament, started to revolutionize a little bit with a big mass Zergling build. On the other hand, HARSTEM, he just came out and looked like he was so solid, and he's been looking so fantastic lately in this matchup specifically. So it's a best of 5. This is, I believe it was the round of, oh God, I can't remember. Was this round of 16? Round of 24? I forget exactly what the round number was, but it's a big best of 5 match. First to 3 wins will get it. And a very solid standard opening to start here for HARSTEM. Now, we're on Waterfall. I'm not sure which player would pick this map because it kind of favors aggression just because it's a small map and there's a lot of wide open areas on this map. You've got these like big open ramps and that sort of stuff. So, I mean, maybe HARSTEM picks it thinking, hey, my Adepts and Oracles get across the map faster. You got to be careful though, because if the Zerg does go aggressive, it's going to be like just big swarming attacks kind of trying to smash on down on top of you. Either way, these small maps, it's just a little bit more brutal if you're caught off guard by the aggression. And the probe there just getting a bit of harass. It sees that there was no extra kind of lava saved up for the Zerglings. That's something you want to check. That's why HARSTEM is just going to go home now, and he's going to chrono an Adept. Oh, no, he's playing conservative. Okay, so HARSTEM here, and this is what a lot of pros do, maybe too often recently. They just don't chrono Adepts. It's just probes. And it's cool because it gives you a huge economic boost. But the downside is if the Zerg goes super greedy, doesn't build many extra Zerglings or anything, then they can get in a good position. And remember, these two players are teammates. They're both playing for Shopify Rebellion now. HARSTEM did get picked up by Shopify Rebellion, right? So many players swap between Team Liquid and Shopify recently that I'm like having a bit of a mental fart where I'm like, wait, didn't like Lambo and HARSTEM both? I know, okay, Lambo was always Shopify. And I think HARSTEM moved over and one other player moved over from Team Liquid to Shopify Rebellion, but I can't quite remember who right now. Anyways, HARSTEM definitely was playing on the same team as SCARLETT. So they would have practiced a bit together, and you can see she only built 2 Zerglings. She hasn't built any extra defense. She's got a nice fast third. So it feels like she's matching the greed of HARSTEM because he's not poking with the Adept. He's playing just purely defensive, no scouting after the probe. Part of me wonders, does this leave you vulnerable to like a Ling Flood because you wouldn't see it coming? But look at how solid his wall is. He keeps the Adept and the Stalker at home. His Oracle is out right on 3 minutes 30. So I think he's pretty damn rock solid against those Ling Flood build orders. And he's already moving out for a very quick third base. Now she's going to come forward with just 8 Zerglings, 2 more on the way, so 10 Zerglings. She's going to try and deny the third. If she can deny this, that would be an awesome way to start the series. His Adept is standing out in the middle of nowhere. Big mistake for HARSTEM. That Adept should not be out there, mate. Uh-oh. Good positioning, though. He gets back to the camp, and he gets the Nexus started, which is very important. Still a good trade for SCARLETT. 6 Zerglings for an Adept and a probe. I would take that any day. But if you can kill the probe, that's better, like before the Nexus goes down, because delaying that 30-40 seconds has big compounding effects. But for now, notice she's keeping the Oracles at home, and she's only built 1 Spore. So she's kind of skimped on her Spores. She does have 5 Queens, so she hasn't been crazy greedy. She's going to 7 Queens as well, and she's building a fast Evo Chamber. No doubt going to be rushing the melee upgrade, so she might be playing that Mass Ling style. And here we go. 3rd gas goes down for HARSTEM. No 4th gas just yet. As I say that, he does drop the 4th gas, and his 2 Oracles are now saying, okay, let's go get some damage done. He hasn't killed a single drone. It's not a good start for him. He should have killed that Queen. Okay, he does decide to do it, but there's 3 Queens nearby. Ends up grabbing a drone and a Creep Tumor, damaging the Queen. Doesn't get much done. He does have a 3rd Oracle out now, though. And what's interesting, guys, is he's going for a 3rd Gateway. Now, this is something I've been talking about, is a lot of players would go straight Forged Twilight off just the 2 Gateways and then die to Queen Walks. Because you don't even need Transfuse. If there's just 3 Oracles, you walk 4 or 5 Queens across the map, they're going to beat those 3 Oracles in the fight. On a small map like this, your Creep can get there so easily. But I like what HARSTEM's doing because he's actually focusing on getting plenty of Gateway units, which keeps him very safe defensively and Look at this. It allows him to move across the map. Even if he gets surrounded by speedlings, the oracles can just turn on their lasers and zap them down. And he's going to go and head forward and try to snipe Scarlett's 4th base. Scarlett right now, she's on just 1 gas geyser. A 2nd gas only going down now at 5 minutes. She's very mineral focused. She's up on 57 workers, but she's got 24 lings out. She's swarming them. She's making a ton of zerglings, but she cannot defend this base. She doesn't want to fight under those oracles. She loses that hatchery. She's got another one going down in the bottom. Oh, she's going to attack this base, but no, she thinks better of it. She sees stalkers in a battery and she pulls back. HARSTEM has a great economy, 60 workers. Twilight Council almost finished, but no forge or anything like that. And oh, stalkers in the open. Oh, but Scarlett, very cautious. She's just going to take the single stalker and pull back. She also might think they have blink. She might not realize that blink is not finished in this game. But she rebuilds the 5th base as well. +1 melee will be finishing soon. She starts a Roach Warren and a 3rd Cast Geyser goes down as well. So she's still really mineral focused. And her worker count, she's down about 10 workers. So it feels like she's pretty far behind. And she's still just massing Zerglings, guys. Just over 50 drones. She's making 50 Zerglings. This is the 50-50 build where you just go super mineral focused. She went 1 extra queen, 8 queens. But she's actually, I mean, this is a 57-57 build. So it's not exact. She's going to try and swarm. So she knows HARSTEM's going to attack with Stalker Oracle, and she wants to just surround and crush with these +1 melee Zerglings. +2 melee and a Roach Warren's on the way as well. So she is getting prepared to swap into Ravager Bane. She's not just going to stay pure Zergling all game. Otherwise, she'd get wiped by the Archon transition that's underway. HARSTEM's coming forward. He's going to snipe this base. Scarlett dives, though. Oh, she gets on top of the battery. That's a huge problem. That means the battery's going to go down. Battery overcharge just disappears. The probes are getting annihilated. HARSTEM tries to mineral walk, but 16 probes have already gone down. Meanwhile, Zerglings and Queens on the front coming in. The Oracles are on hold position. Notice how the Lings were trying to pull out of range of those lasers. Oh my god, HARSTEM's 3rd is just getting wiped. He doesn't have anything to kill this. His Blink's not even ready. His Oracles are trying to run back, but they're getting out of energy. He's going to lose the 3rd base. HARSTEM just taps out. And we see the predictability of this style getting abused by Scarlett. She was way behind before this push went in, but guys, I got to rave about this build for just a moment. This is the 50-50 build. And this build is specifically designed to take advantage of the predictability of what HARSTEM's doing, where you're okay with being down on workers because you know every time a Protoss player is doing this Oracle Stalker style, they're always going to attack you. And when they do, you have enough to like backstab. I actually would have loved her to send some Lings to attack the natural, because if she could bust through there as well while swamping the 3rd, that would have been even more powerful. But the idea is like you have enough units that you could just shove them back. We did a whole practice run of this build, trying it out on the ladder. The whole idea is don't just sit back and let the Protoss pressure you, but always have enough units to both defend at home and fuck them up on their side of the map. And this is very nasty to deal with. She catches HARSTEM completely off guard with that giant counterattack. Yes, she loses her 4th base, but she has a 5th base down there anyway. And yeah, the moment she kills those workers, suddenly her, what looked like a bad economy is all right. The danger is, though, if he could defend this and not move out with the Stalkers potentially and not take all this damage, he was significantly ahead on economy. So we'll see what happens in game 2. All right, let's go, guys. It's going to be game number 2, and that was a rude awakening for HARSTEM. I really liked his build order, and I think against most Zergs that just go straight into Roaches, they don't have the maneuverability to deal with what he just did in that game. But we saw that Master Zergling is very fast, and this is interesting because it brings back a discussion I had with Scarlett right before Valencia. I got to play Hero in the Weekly Cup, and I thought I did pretty good. And I was playing like just a handful of Ravagers and then just like heavy Zergling, trying to get up a fast 4th, a fast 5th base, kind of what we saw her doing there. But I was doing it with Roaches early, and so I just couldn't quite hold on against his attacks. And like one game, I actually crushed one of his attacks. Like he sniped my hatchery, but I killed a ton of Stalkers. And I was like just amazed that I wasn't dead from the start, obviously, because I'm playing heroes infinitely better than me. I'm never going to be able to beat Hero, right? But the fact that I was like, I think this Mass Ling taking up to Ultra style, I really has promise. And Scarlett, she was like, yeah, the problem with Ravagers, though, is they just die to Oracles. And I was like, that is true. One of the games, I went for a small counterattack off creep, and the Oracles just lasered down all my Ravagers so fast, and it felt like I lost so many units so quickly. She's like, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do a kind of, counterattacky fast 5-base Ling style, like just go Zerglings. Don't even bother with the Ravagers. Like they're only building Stalkers. Lings wreck Stalkers. And if the Oracles turn on their lasers, you can just run away. Your Lings are so fast that you can actually just drain the Oracle energy without taking too many losses. So it was really cool to have her kind of give me that little bit of advice, because I and actually taking the time to answer my stupid questions as a noob commentator. And yeah, it was awesome to hear her say that. And then watching her at this tournament start bringing out different styles. And she played a lot of different styles at this tournament. Now, I think HARSTEM could do the exact same style as last game, but like if he has that third base with like the battery and the cannon, he needs to just make sure he like has a bit of a wall off, maybe like warps in the depth to hold the choke point between like the pylon and the nexus. You know, just doesn't let the Lings inside. The thing about Ling run bys, and that's why I was saying she should probably attack the natural wall as well, if she does that same Ling flood, is like if you can tear down the gateway or like kill the unit in the wall, there's no shield battery there. Anytime you open a new front with melee units, like you get inside a base that's undefended, suddenly they do crazy damage. The weakness with melee units is they're melee. If they're walled out, they're just really crap. They can't attack anything, you know? They've got to just like attack against the wall, which is not good. So I think against that style, we'll see, you know, does Scarlett do it again? If so, and I'm sure she will, it's a best of 5. She'll bring it out at least once more, I'm sure. You know, how does HARSTEM adapt? And does he not move out with the Stalkers and just play more defensive and say, hey, I'm way up on workers right now. Maybe just feint with the Stalkers, get her to mass the Zerglings, and then just go home and defend? Now, he's gone for a Stalker after the Adept, then Warp Gate. So his Warp Gate is very late. I would say HARSTEM is kind of vulnerable to a Ling Flood here because that Warp Gate started at like 2 minutes 40. That is so late because he went Adept, Stargate, Stalker, Warp Gate. Like, that's so late. But Scarlett, she doesn't Ling Flood that much. She's just playing macro. She's going to 4 queens. Very early 4th queen as well. So I think she wants to try and skip out on those spores. Now, is she going to build Zerglings again? I don't think so. I think she would have had to already start those Zerglings before 44 supply if she wants to deny the third, because that probe's going to be moving out any moment now for HARSTEM. He's got the Oracle. He's got the Adept. So the Adept will probably shade out. Probe will move out. Usually you want that third base before 4 minutes, unless you're doing maybe like a Glaive Adept attack or something like that. But no, there we go. So she's over here with just 2 Zerglings. She's got 2 Lings at home as well. She doesn't see the move out there because he just moved out as she crossed over. So she's like, oh, you're not taking a third yet. Now she runs in and she goes, oh, okay, you did cross over. She sees the third base. Scarlett's got plenty of queens. She builds a spore in the natural. She's got 2 queens at the front, 2 queens in the main. Very solid defense and a 4-minute Evo chamber. Exact same opening as last game. Doesn't have to go mass Zergling with it though, right? I mean, just getting a fast melee works really well for any Ravager Bane style, because if you get your fast +1 melee, you can go into fast +2. And +2 melee means your Banelings one-shot probes. It absolutely friggin' destroys oracles. Let's go! Ooh! Oh my god. Okay, he kind of gets past. He gets 1, 2 drones. Doesn't take critical damage on the oracles. There is a spore there. Good pullback by Scarlett. She only loses 1 more. And that was target fire. She manually targets the weak oracle. Almost takes it down. Still, a bit of mining time. Nice distraction. You notice she's not injecting her third base right now. So there is a bit of damage there. +1 melee, also maybe slightly delayed. She does start it up though. And guys, check it out. It's basically a rule of 1 gas build with a fast melee. That's how the 50-50 opens. You get 3 full mineral lines, get your melee upgrade, and then you take a second gas, Roach Roaring, a lair, and you try and get a 4th and a 5th hatchery up as quickly as possible right on the 5-minute mark. So I think she'll try and expand over here as well. She is a little bit slower on her 5th base than I prefer to be, but that's interesting. Ooh, nice stasis trap. He gets 3 more drone kills and freezes up 4 drones for 20 seconds over here. Okay, HARSTEM's looking really sexy right now. He's still doing the same sort of opening, but yeah, so he went 3rd gateway into Twilight and then Forge. So he has got the Forge. He hasn't moved out yet. I think at this point he'd already moved out with the Stalkers. No, he is going to do it. He's going to do the exact same thing as last game. He's leaving 1 Adept with a pylon there, but he's going to have to try and, I think, wall off this base if he wants to keep it safe against the mass Ling. She's massing the Ling once again, just over 50 drones, guys. So 2 gases, 3 mineral lines. It's 54 workers. She is massing Zerglings like no tomorrow. Here we go. The Stalkers coming in. If the Oracles aren't there, the Stalkers could die. So those Oracles need to help cover the Stalkers. HARSTEM pokes forward. And remember, I said he might just feint. That makes perfect sense because he's like, dude, I know she's massing Zerglings off a shit economy. I'm up 10 probes. Just pull home and defend. This is very smart by HARSTEM, being very cautious. I still think he needs a wall off or something like that, though. How many gateways has he got up? He's got only 3 gateways. He's going to 5, and he's just kind of steadily adding that production in. He is a bit supply blocked right now, which could be a problem. He's adding a robo as well. He's going to try and clear creep. He's got 1 oracle in the backside. That's the red hit point oracle. He just wants to use that as the stasis oracle, I think. Maybe the scout as well. Nope, stasis traps. Nice harass. You can always just queue that up. Scarlett's watching, though. Just lets one drone take that one for the team. Stalkers could be in trouble. Here we go. Uh-oh, this is a big problem. He didn't wall off the base. If she gets on top of that battery, he's in huge trouble. Remember, if the Lings get in, but oh, nice hold position trick. Notice she didn't get full surface area on the battery. Stalkers warping in, the army's coming back, the oracles. You could tell HARSTEM was much more ready for this move. And this time she did not get that killing blow. I would have once again loved to see her hit the natural at the same time. I think she could do that. You know, it's actually kind of hilarious because I was experimenting with Ling drops yesterday, and on a lot of this map and Cosmic Sapphire, some of the new maps, you've got so much area in the main base. So you could actually do like slow Overlord Ling drops from there and just ferry some across, because this is kind of the danger point, which I think HARSTEM's just crossed over from the dangerous point where he's gone up to 70 probes at a ridiculous rate. He's got fast Stalkers, fast Oracles covering it, but only now has he actually got a decent force of Stalkers with Blinken +1. Scarlett's going to come forward and deny the fourth. She is droning behind it. She's got a very quick +2 melee. So, I mean, her economy was not great in overall drone count, but we've got to remember that in terms of mineral income, she was on 3 full mineral lines this whole time. So we look at the number, 50 drones, and we go, that's really shit income. But in terms of what matters, which is minerals, for Roaches, Lings, it's 90% mineral focus, right? She's now added a few more gas geysers. She's going up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gas geysers. She's got her 5th base up. She's up to 78 workers now. She's adding an infestation pit, Bane speed, Roach speed's almost done. So she's just playing a standard Ravager Bane game from there. The difference is she's got great creep spread. She's not got Oracles and Stalkers kicking her in the fucking, in the economy the entire game. She's not got Revelation clearing the creep. So even though I think HARSTEM numbers-wise feels pretty good, it's the thing is the map control. It seems like something that doesn't matter that much. It's like, but HARSTEM's been ahead on economy, and he has, and he's definitely going to be able to get to, you know, a maxed out force. But Scarlett's actually in a very competitive position. She's building 12 more workers. Oh my. Okay, so she's like, okay, he's turtled up. I need to switch gears massively. Use that map control to get up to the 84, almost 90 workers. Oracle's going to use a bit of that energy, take out a few of these Zerglings. Not the best micro from HARSTEM. Gets maybe 4 Zerglings. Going to start clearing some creep. Archon gets surrounded. Zerglings kill Archons very quickly individually like that. Gets a pylon as well. The Lings need to run away. Stasis trap, though. Ooh, good reaction by her. She should leave, though. Oh, she's trapped. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, she should try to just like focus down the battery and maybe get some probes. She gets a pylon, a battery, good hold position. Oh, HARSTEM. Oh, he didn't micro. Oh, he should have stacked those probes over here. The hold position killed a lot of stuff. Oh, she can kill that base. That would be huge. But no, he's too close by. High Templar coming in, more Archons as well. Okay, so that was actually not too bad. She got 11 workers, a pylon, some shield battery. I'm surprised at the damage she's managed to inflict. We've got now 1-1 range upgrades. Scarlett realizing she's like, okay, I gotta get some upgrades for my Roaches. Does she get Vipers? I think Blinding Cloud and potentially Abduct on Archons could be huge. Fungal could be okay, but I don't know. I feel like Ultras is probably the way to go against this army. There's no Immortals. There's no real Robo production. You've already got +2 melee. Oh, crap. Prism in the main. Uh-oh. Oh, HARSTEM fighting back hard. Remember, he still had a lot of money mining this whole time, even though he was pinned in his corner of the map. He's going to shove forward now. Scarlett's in big trouble. She doesn't have many Ravagers here, but that's a lot of Banelings coming in from the left side. Oh, my lord. Even though they're mostly hitting Archons. Oh, the Stasis Trap. Nice Stasis Trap. He's trying to pull back. If only he had the Warp Prism down here. He's trying to warp in Zealots in the main. That is occupying a lot of her Zerglings, but it looks like she just barely has the critical mass to overwhelm. No more Oracle energy left, and as these last Stalkers and Archons go down, the supply difference is massive. This was almost an all-in timing. His +2 weapons finishes just after his entire army is wiped. Oh, that is nasty. And it looks like Scarlett should have this game in the bag. He may have a nice economy, but he's got almost no units. She does start an Ultra Cavern, Adrenal Glands. I'd love to see Scarlett just pound across this map and wipe him. She's going for 11 more workers, though, so it feels like, I think she's like, screw committing to more Baneling Ravager. I want to go up to the Ultra Tech. That's where I want to be winning this game. And, that could work. Nidus Worm could be good. It looks like she went for a Baneling drop at some point, which I completely missed, guys. Because that is a Dropper Lord, I'm certain of it. You can see it's got big sacks on the side of it. Looks like that there. Oh, maybe she's just setting up for it, but hasn't gone for it yet. I don't know. Baneling drop on the top side is going to come in. I'll have to go back and check for that Baneling drop. All right, Zealot drop coming in. Oh, ow. 3 drones go down. Okay, Prism's going to pull back there. Zealots on the top side. Oh, this is really nice. Just sending in 1 or 2 Zealots. It doesn't matter if you lose 1 or 2 Zealots. This distracts Scarlet. The fact that it's getting value on top of that is actually insane. This is very annoying. Scarlet should be the one dictating what's happening on the map, but she is losing drones, queens, lots of stuff. And oh no, she pulls her Lings out of the main. Oh, she's trying to go for it because she realizes HARSTEM has so few units right now. But if those banelings don't hit the mineral line, she's in trouble. But oh, they hit the mineral line. Oh, Zealot in the main base kills 2 queens. It's now getting even more drones. The 24 probes mean it doesn't matter though. Scarlet. Oh my god, she has got this one in the bag completely. Ultras are on the way. Chitinous plating. I mean, HARSTEM's going to try and turtle up. He's only got 1 Robo. He needs to be chronoing Immortals like non-stop. But remember, each Immortal is 275 minerals, 100 gas. It's almost like an Ultralisk in terms of minerals. It's only 25 less. So, you know, an Immortal is incredibly expensive as a unit. Not cheap by any means. I love this gateway wall that everyone goes for in this map. Ooh, Spore Crawler defending the Prism. At this point, you've got to want to have a Spire, right? Just to get a single Corruptor or something in there. Lings are going to come in. They grab 1, 2, 3 probes. No, just the 2. The shield battery coming in big. Massive Archon ball. Now, Archon's very good for tanking against Ultras. If you have Immortals behind it, it'd be huge. And Scarlet's not really evolved her composition, guys. She's going Spire now, so she can go Broodlords. There's a problem. There is a big problem. And that is that she doesn't have Vipers. I think it's okay because she's still up in army supply, but if he gets a few more Immortals in the back, Ultraling Bane is not that good versus Immortal Archon. I think HARSTEM can maybe just stand his ground here and fight. Oh, there's a lot more Banelings coming in from behind, and yeah, I think that was a good fight for HARSTEM. So I think she should have Vipers. Guys, that sort of fight, Blinding Cloud is massive. Abducts on the Immortals would be massive as well. So I think she's missing out on the Spellcasters. I think a lot of players really do not commit enough to Spellcasters when they play Ultras. Ultras need those Spellcasters to enable them. Does she have the numbers? The Archon count is slaying, but... oh, is there enough in there? The Zealots in the main are doing really well. They're clearing up the queens. Ooh, Scarlet, if she can get rid of the Immortals, that'd be big. She gets rid of those 2 Archons and 1 of the Immortals. I think she's happy with those trades because she has more money, but man, the supply is surprisingly close right now. She did kill, HARSTEM did kill 13 more drones. Spire's almost finished. I really, like I said, I think 1 or 2 Vipers there would have just killed every Immortal. And then there's nothing to kill the Ultras, but she's making Ravages, Lings. She's making more Roaches as well, which I find surprising. I thought she'd be on pure like Ultra Ling, but I guess with the Archons, she wants Ravages to try and bile and pick them off. That does make sense. +3 melees on the way. Only +3 attack, no armor or shield upgrades for HARSTEM. HARSTEM desperately trying to secure this 5th base, but he is pretty broke right now. His workers are not mining very efficiently, so he's kind of desperate to keep Scarlet busy, keep finding damage with the Prism. As these Zerglings come back in, nice. Oh, look at that. Picking up Zealots. Nice fancy engagement micro. So this is what I'm talking about. Oversaturated. That's starting to run out of minerals. He needs this 5th base. Up on 73 workers, HARSTEM needs this 5th base so we can start transferring from here. And in the near future, actually this base is good for a while longer. But yeah, he's transferring a few workers out of the main as well as it completely mines out at this point. Another couple workers go down. The Prism has been very frustrating. A thorn in Scarlet's side. She's still up 50 supply right now. Man, the Brood War music's really kicking in nice and loud. We're going to make sure... I think I'll turn that down after this game. But it's getting me hyped. 2 Corruptors finally come out. I told you guys, yeah, you're going to want to get Corruptors finally just to get rid of that Prism. It's been such a pain in the ass. Finally goes down. Her Zerglings and Roaches are going to clean up. Oh, she gets a flank. But does she have the numbers to capitalize? A couple of Archons go down. The Immortals are not focus firing the Ultras. HARSTEM's focusing on defensive, not offensive micro. You notice once the Immortals start shooting the Ultras, they disappear, man. Ultras corpses just going flying. Zealots coming in as well. If Psystorm was here, that'd be really good versus the Ling Roach Ravager Bane. Oh, he's trying to push. HARSTEM thinks maybe he has an advantage here. I don't know. She's going to have so much reinforce popping out of the eggs. She takes out another Immortal there. Banelings on this base saying, please transfer workers, HARSTEM. Please, daddy, please. HARSTEM, though, he's just got this little squad of units. Remember, his Prism is gone. He can't pick up, he can't micro on this anymore. His Warpin's coming in from just behind, but she gets the surround and getting rid of that core of Immortals. It's irreplaceable. HARSTEM's going to have to tap out, and Scarlet, she's looking large, she's looking in charge, and even in a game where she finds no damage with the swarm of Zerglings, she gets map control, spreads creep, drones up behind it. So I love to see the flexibility inherent here in this 50-50 build. Let's see if she goes for it a 3rd time in a row. Rattle, rattle, right, let's go. Game number 3. Come on, Captain. You need to do it now. Kevin, you need to dig deep. You've got to dig deep and bring the comeback, because we do not want this to be a 3-0 series. We want to show what you're capable of. Scarlett's bringing out this nasty Massling build. Come on, you can deal with this. Show us what you got, big boy. HARSTEM in the bottom right here of Cosmic Sapphire. No gas first. Now that's interesting. So he's going to go for the Gate Scout. I think he's worried about maybe getting cheesed out. So he's going to, yeah, he's going to Gate Scout. Conservative opening. I mean, it was actually HARSTEM during Home Story Cop that he was talking a lot about how good gas first and not scouting is, and how if you get to, what is it, minute 57, and there's no Zerglings arriving yet, you just go sweet, like, because you know you got away with, hey, they didn't 12 pool, I didn't scout, I just got away with murder, and now I have a way better opening build order. Scarlett's going to open just very standard again though, 16 hatchery, and the probe coming in. Now, I don't think there's any nasty cannon spots on this map. I believe Moondance has a really nasty cannon spot behind the natural, and it's actually inside out, where there's a beautiful cannon rush spot where you can just wall off the bottom of their ramp with like a pylon behind the minerals and then 2 pylons at the ramp, and it just walls the whole thing off, and there's very limited surface area, so workers can't really break out very easily. These are the sort of things you've got to keep your eyes on HARSTEM. He might bring those out in a tournament, because remember, HARSTEM's the guy that, was it King Cobra he used to get coaching off? I think it was King Cobra he used to pay for coaching. He'd basically get, or Gauzy maybe as well. Basically, he'd get the expert cannon rush players who only cannon rush every game, and he'd just be like, I'm going to get an hour of coaching with you at the start of a new season, because those guys, all they would do when a new season come out of maps, they'd just basically find all the dirty little corners where you could wall off cannons. And he'd be like, cool, pay them for an hour of coaching, and then I can use that a whole bunch of times, just like one map in a best of series versus each Zerg. Get a bunch of free wins abusing broken spots on these maps. And yeah, good investment. Kevin, always a smart man, outsourcing his strategies to the ladder hero cannon rusher cheese guys. I like it. Adept getting chrono this time. He's going to play a bit more aggressive. So remember, he was a bit more defensive in the previous games, leaving the Adept at home. He might even go double Adept this game. Would be a good way to mix it up rather than the Adept Stalker. Come on, show me that second Adept, baby girl. Show me that second Adept. No, and he goes back to playing really conservative. HARSTEM! Get out there, bro. Okay, so at least he's doing the switch up here, where it's like, with Scarlett doesn't know. Does he cancel the shade, or did he let it finish? Because she doesn't have vision here, and she doesn't have vision here. So I do like that move in general, but I think he's been very defensively focused with it, trying to deny her scouting. And the thing is, she sees that this was Warp Gate was delayed, so she knows Stargate went down really quickly. So I would have loved to see him piling some more aggression on. This is probably not the best map for it since it's so big, so I can see why he didn't. But once again, she gets away with just 2 Zerglings, doesn't even need to build 4. And putting some creep tumors down. I love that. I think it was HARSTEM sprayed the GG tag on the ground there for her. Ling speed's on the way. We've got more drones, 4 queens. So exact same opening for Scarlett. She said, this is solid. I'm going to keep doing it. He's going to go for that second gate to complete the wall off there. Though actually, I think it might have already been a complete wall just with those, but it reinforces the wall off. First Oracle coming out. And is he expanding to the left side? Oh, looks like he might. Very cute. So, okay, rather than going up for the triangle third, he's going to take this one out. Gets the Oracle to spot over the pillar, takes the Overlord out. Third Nexus goes down real quick. And no need to turn on the laser for 2 Zerglings. That is not a threat. Spore Crawler going down in the natural here for Scarlett. She likes to do that, and then she can shuffle these queens over to the third to defend the Oracle. So 2 queens in the main, 2 in the third, and the Spore Crawler there. Very solid play. Second Oracle's on the way, and this time a much quicker Twilight Council before the third gateway, and a Robo as well. This tells us HARSTEM's going in a different direction. He's changing things up. He is changing his build order. He has decided, okay, this is not working out. I'm down 0-2. Let's change it. We've got to play around what Scarlett's doing. She's also changing it. She goes Lair. Oh my god, Lair, second and third gas. She might be rushing Mutalisks here. Okay. She's already got 3 queens up the front. Oh my god, HARSTEM almost loses an Oracle, doing no damage there as well. Does have a battery coming up on this third, but he's actually doing a he's doing a charge all in. Oh, this would be so good versus her Mutalisk Rush, but wait, she's going Overlord speed. She's not doing a Mutalisk Rush. This game's about to get very weird, guys. The Oracles do defend that. Lings trade for a Stalker, not too bad for Scarlett. Right now, she's just massing lings and queens off just over 50 workers. She's going to build a spore in these bases. I mean, her lair is almost done. I think she's just doing mass queen zergling drops. She drops a Roachmore and only now. It would have been nice to have that a little earlier. She's a bit supply blocked. She needs to build some overlords. He is going for mass gate charge. So he's doing a 40 probe, maybe slightly more than that. No gases on the natural. Actually, one gas, which was kind of a fake at the front. He built that under the overlord. So I think Scarlett saw that. Yeah. No, she didn't actually, but interesting. So he's got a prism and 8 gates. So he's going to do a big charge lot attack, right? Big 3 base, 9 gate charge lot attack with the prism and the oracles. But she's going to go for a 5 queen. Oh, 6th queen gets left behind there. That's a bit of a bummer. So she's going to go for a 5 queen German taxi with just mass zerglings. No melee upgrade this time. Zealots beat the shit out of zerglings in large numbers, but it's a decent surround for Scarlett. But no, she doesn't kill any. He's got a shield battery here. Oh, he's got to be careful, though. Get those zealots back, HARSTEM. Don't throw your zealots away. Oh, my God, he loses 1. If he can get back to the battery and get the healing off, then he should be in a really good spot. Meanwhile, oh, elevator in the main base. Oh, no. Oh, no. HARSTEM loses power on 4 of his gateways. It's a disaster. He will clean that up. But at home, oh, my God, tries transfuses. The queen's coming down. She's going to plop down some creep. Her zerglings are in on the mineral line. Battery overcharge does finally come in. He's going to have to try and pull back to keep the healing going. A lot of his zealots are dying just outside of healing range, which is unfortunate. If HARSTEM can get the critical mass, he can overwhelm this. Some roaches are starting to waddle over. The queens are getting overwhelmed, it appears, but no, they do hold on. Meanwhile, finally, that other half of his production gets back online. Warp Prism in the main at the same time was warping in and dropping zealots in there. It looks like he killed 4 drones in the midst of this. This shit hit the fan at the end of it. They're on equal workers. Scarlett gets pushed back, but he's only on mass zealot. I don't even know who's ahead on tech right now because he doesn't have anything that transitions. He's just on mass zealot and he needs to find damage. He's gonna he's got a probe up as well. Surely she's gonna do a giant ling run by. If she gets on the battery, that's game winning, but she is distracted by the attacks coming in, and so HARSTEM is able to pull back and defend with the zealot warp in there. Yeah, he should be able to hold on, especially with the hold position. Zealots come in. She defends with the Queen Roach. It looks like her queens just took out the Warp Prism up here as well. A big win for Scarlett. She loses some Zerglings, has to fall back. HARSTEM defends his 3rd. Evo Chamber and Roach Speed on the way. Scarlett's trying to tech up to the next step. She does need to secure a 4th base as well. There we go. She's going to go for that one. And I mean, as HARSTEM, you got to make a decision. He's going to drop a Dark Shrine, which tells us that he is in a desperate mentality. He's thinking, Zealots and DTs, these are not long-term units. He's got to do more. I really think he needs to get some Zealots out of the map, maybe rebuild his Warp Prism. His Oracle is going to die here. Oh, there's a Spore. Oh, Scarlett moves the Spore away. I think that might have got that. Oracle does survive. Prism's on the way. Oh, another elevator comes in. The Zergling minivan does not stop. Scarlett is absolutely relentless in this game. Good probe micro for HARSTEM. And she just picks up and leaves. Scarlett says, yeah, we drop off the kids. We pick them up from school 2 minutes later. We don't like the teacher trying to teach them about lasers and stuff. We don't believe in science in the Zerg religion in our household, so immediately pulls the kids out of school until they find someone that is a little bit more to their liking. Templar Archives on the way. Immortals are building, so some more long-term units for HARSTEM. Scarlett's obviously going Baneling Nest, range upgrade, double Evo, so she's just going to play a big Ravager Bane game. She has a lot of drones idling right now, though. You got to remember, this is such a weird situation. Both players are going to have a really tough time kind of guessing and estimating what their opponent's up to at this stage. Am I ahead? Am I behind? Do I have more army or more economy? Should I be attacking or defending? It's a really weird position to be in now. The Oracle's very slowly going to try and clear up this creep. She's got some lovely creep spreading in all directions. Scarlett's been famous for that for a long time. She's up to 71 workers. She could deny this base. That would be huge. It's only 7 Zerglings, though. They don't have a melee upgrade either. Oh, she's going to get it, I think. No. He can hold this. Yeah. That's an easy defend for HARSTEM. Does keep the Nexus alive. Well done. Zealots on the top side running in. You don't want to throw these away, though. Ooh, don't want to just be throwing away. Okay, loses a few Zealots, but the Prism is still alive. 4th base has got to get up for HARSTEM. Very important that he defends this. His first Forge is on the way, whereas she's already got melee, range, and Aspire. She sees the Prism in the top, and she's like, yep, nope, I already got triggered last game. Let's bloody get rid of that thing early. But she didn't move any units up to respond. He just flew right into her main, and yet again, the Prism in the main. I know Scarlett, guys, this is pissing her off because she should be in a good position right now, and letting this Prism in isolation, there's no pressure on the front. And yet she's losing queens, she's losing drones. He gets to scout the Spire, so that's definitely not going to be a surprise maneuver. And most importantly, she's giving him time to get established at home. He's adding Blink, Immortals, his 4th base. He's probing. So she's letting him have time that he just does not really, shouldn't have, I should say. Overlords should be up here. She doesn't see where the Prism is right now. I mean, I guess she'll probably just build like 5 mutas, clean that up, and then maybe use it as a harassment squad. HARSTEM's setup still looks like absolute arse right now. Psystorm would be good because, I mean, she's not going Hive anytime soon, so I do think Psystorm would be amazing. I mean, he's building up the Immortal Zealot count. He's got sentries. Yeah, these are okay. But Scarlett, she's got Bane speed now, right? Yeah, she's got Bane speed. She's got +1 range finish, +2 on the way, melee on the way. HARSTEM's going to slowly pick off some tumors, but 20 more Lings are on the way. We've got an Overseer coming in for the scout. Scarlett's keen to see what he's up to. She doesn't have that much info on his army status right now. And Storm does start up. So there's going to be Psystorm added in. There's only 2 High Templar gathering energy, though. Oh, no! HARSTEM, watch out, bro! Okay, run the probes. Okay, very good evac on the probes. But I love that choice from Scarlett. She gets a good hit on the Zealots while he's pulling the probes. He was prioritizing the economy, defending that. So she's like, okay, blow up the Zealots, run away. And that was a good move, good trade for her. Infestation Pits on the way as well. Prism in the north side, floating around, looking to come back in. The Spire never got used, not even for a single Corruptor or anything. And remember, even if you build Spores here, guys, Prism can just fly right past. Even if you put it right on the edge, I think they'll maybe get 1 shot off on a Warp Prism. So on this map, you really can't zone out the edges. Oh my god! Oh, his army just got jumped on. He just lost so many units. Scarlett's army's still looking healthy. There's Phoenix out because he was expecting mutas. Oh my god, a Baneling drop came in as well. He did pull his probes, though. He only loses 5 workers. That could have been a lot worse. The Warp Prism is going to go down. Ah, nice snipe there. Good job, Scarlett's queen. Yes, queen. She does go down. Meanwhile, another Baneling drop in the back of the natural. Another 5 workers. These Bane drops coming in from all sides. And HARSTEM, you could tell, is in a little bit of chaos right now. He even picks up this Baneling, but he doesn't actually kill it because the Phoenix are out of range. Got to be careful, bro. Rolling. And unfortunately, does not take it out. I guess no +2 melee in this game is there. So that is something I was worried about without a good reason for it. Observer gets biled down. Scarlett with some sharp vision. She's up 40-50 supply. He cannot get a 5th base. His economy is not looking good. And if she can just hit him now, she could probably take him out. He does have a lot of Psystorm, or 4 Psystorms saved up. The Phoenix are going to start trying to pick off Ravagers, but ooh, does drop that one there. Biles on the Phoenix could be effective. She's got to be watching out for that. And ooh, those Phoenix. Ow, he loses 2 of his Phoenix. Massling on the right side. Scarlett's got to get a move on, though. She's got to get something done. Storm, she's too clumped for the Storm, though. She's way too clumped for the Storm. Even though this army's small, I don't think she can do it. Corruptors come in. Another 10 probes just went down. I'm guessing there's some Banelings running by. The Corruptors went for a little bit of the wee-wee there. Lings on the right side are easily defended by the Zealot Archon. Okay, she's trying to get rid of that Phoenix still. It's very annoying, this Phoenix giving vision of her army. Oh, these Zerglings cannot take out the Zealot Archon on their own. She's going to need to split Roaches. So she splits a bunch of Roaches to the top. This army, she's still threatening. But HARSTEM's buying himself a lot of time. He's doing it very well. And there we go. Roaches and Zerglings. Is it enough? Oh, HARSTEM actually adds more Zealots in. I think HARSTEM can win that fight quite easily. So she's got to be careful. She's going to have to bring up a much bigger portion of her army. She's going Greater Spire now. I love it. Adrenal Glands, +2 melee, +3 range. She's going to try and get Broods. Ling, Bane morphing here, getting ready for the run bys. I mean, she's kept HARSTEM contained, but he's now maxed out, and he's got his only +1 attack versus her. +1 melee, +2 range. She's getting +2 melee kicking in just a moment, but I don't think she should force the issue. She's still very heavy on Roaches. Oh, those High Templar are so exposed. She doesn't quite get him, though. The Zealots take one for the team, taking the Banelings. That Nexus does get denied. And she's stuck on Mass Roach Ravager Bane, guys. She can't go for Broodlords because the army is on her doorstep. She's got to pull out of there. Her army is not being microed right now. Big mistake for Scarlett there. A lot of those Roaches were not attacking. You could tell they had an awkward move command that they couldn't fulfill, so they were freaking out. Banelings roll in. They were clicked on the Nexus. Big mistake for Scarlett. Bit of a misclick there. You can tell she's playing at 100 miles, 100 miles a minute, not even an hour, and she's just going crazy with the speed, but she's not able to find the hits. She gets rid of 2 Archons, but that's all of her Banelings, and there's no Psystorm left in the back. She's going to come forward. She's trying to crash into this force. The Banelings do clear out the Zealots, but she doesn't have too much behind it. Uh-oh, she may have gone a bit too deep here. These Immortals need to get focused down. The Roaches from the south side, though, I think she might have this. Wait, more Stalkers are coming in from the back. She has to pull back and regroup for a moment. Guys, she's out of lava. She's out of lava. Oh my god, she has 2,000 minerals and 1,500 gas, but she's chucked a pig. SCARLETT pulling out Pig's favorite maneuver in a messy game. She's run out of lava. She has not kept up her injects. Normally not an issue, but when you stay on Lingbane Ravager for so long, it's a lava-hungry style. And if she could just spend her money, she rolls this army with Zerglings and wins the game right now. She could build like 100 Zerglings with that money, maybe even more. Let's do some quick maths. 4 Zerglings for every 100 minerals. That means it's 40 Zerglings for 1,000 minerals. So she could have built 80 Zerglings. They would have surrounded, killed all the immortals. It'd be game over, because then there's no way HARSTEM could establish the 5th. SCARLETT's going to be pissed off with herself because now she rebuilds, but it's still all Roach Ravager up against a guy who's making Storm Immortal Stalker a very good defensive composition. He's adding +2 attack. He's got a second forge. SCARLETT, she's not using her Great Aspire. Where are the Corruptors? She's still building Roach Ravager Ling. SCARLETT, if she just made Broodlords, he still does not have a good answer to it. This is still budget HARSTEM. I'm telling you, Dutch people are normally tall, rich, strong, solid. They have a lot of dairy. Right now, he's got this is the sort of dairy that's been on the floor. You know, it's going off. It doesn't smell too good. There's some mold and bacteria. This army is not a long-term army. The problem is SCARLETT's gone and built what we call the North American Special. This is the North American GM macro composition. I have Ravagers! It's not a good army at all. And he was not on her doorstep. She did not need to stay on the Ravagers this hard. She's going to go for a giant Bane run by trying at least wipe the economy on this base. But man, where are the Broodlords? She desperately needs to do it. And now he's able to get to 87 probes, and he's going to have a few minutes to mine off that and get time to get out an answer to this composition. Ravagers can defend very well here, but I don't know if they can actually win the game. HARSTEM hanging on for dear life right now, but oh, okay, the 6 probes do go down. He's fighting back in this series. He's got to be careful not to waste too much Psystorm. Stalkers blink forward, a few Stalkers for that many Banelings. He's happy to take the trade. Finally, the Broodlord transition is underway for SCARLETT, but the scary thing is that there's a lot of Storm. If there's a lot of Archons and Stalkers, I mean, if he can just storm everything underneath the Broodlords, blink on top, focus them down, that's a pretty good way to play. And, oh, HARSTEM starting to do the Zealot run bys. This is exactly what you want to do. As she's starting to put supply into very immobile units, the Corruptors aren't even in Broodlord form, so they're literally useless supply until they morph into those Broods. There we go. Finally, she's got those Broods on the way, but it's a slow, delayed, and awkward transition. HARSTEM, with his counter-aggression, has bought himself time and space in this game. He's slowed down the transition. Oh, can he defend this top base? He's going to need another big Zealot warping up there. He's only got 9 gateways, but it's okay considering how low his economy's been all game. Good Biles do manage to activate some of those shields, some of those barriers. I think he sees the Broodlords, maybe. He's got to get out of here. HARSTEM's in trouble. He needs to go for that air transition. Second Stargate fleet beacon's on the way. He's going to move north. If he can take this base and then disengage before the Broodlords get on him, that could be big, but he's using a lot of Psystorm to keep this army back. Those Immortals need to get out of there. Get out of there, Immortals. Okay, he takes the hatchery. The Broodlords are launching on him. He needs to leave right now. These Ravagers need to chase him down. Oh, SCARLETT's going to get a bunch of the Immortals. Nice plays. But there's a little Archon counter on the bottom. Going to do very good versus the Zerglings. Good Storm does scare those Ravagers back. The Broodlords trying to chase him down. HARSTEM's probably going to have to give up this base. Archon's on the south side. The High Templar are getting jumped on. Oh, no! HARSTEM loses 3 High Templar. The 4th one has to use its Storm as well. SCARLETT with a vicious counterattack on the south side. Roaches and Spines will be able to defeat these Archons. One of them does go down. Good pullback by HARSTEM. If this base goes down, HARSTEM's in big doo-doo. Right now, the Broodlords are in an unattackable position. Over this dead space, they can't really get blinked on. And you can see HARSTEM's trying to lure them away from his expansion right now. He's trying to desperately buy himself time and kind of do a stutter-stepping battle away from the Broodlords. It's impressive that he's luring her away because that base there, she's been lured off it. It's basically undefended. If she just sent all of her Zerglings there, that would go down. And yet, look at this. He's scared her back. The movement of HARSTEM is next level right now. He's getting Tempests out. His first 3 Tempests are popping. SCARLETT should not be giving him this time. Remember, she's been down on economy for a bit. She doesn't have much bank. She needs to get this base mining, but she's pulled back into a defensive stance. Her army still sucks. She doesn't have Infestors with this yet, which would be great. She needs actually Corruptors once she realizes there's Tempests on the map. And it's mostly Ling Ravager still. The Archon Zealot counterattack comes in. Broodlords on the top side may get caught out. HARSTEM with a beautiful 2-pronged fight. Ling Ravager does surround at least some of these Archons, though. Very nicely done. Oh, Ling run by doing fantastically. Baneling Ravager Broodlord in the middle as well. Just when I'm doubting on SCARLETT, she gets a fantastic couple of fights here, and the Lings get out of there very nicely. I say they get out of there, but HARSTEM, Chadfield. That's right, it's like a force field, but when it's cast by a Chad using a unit as a force field, that's a Chad field. That's where Kevin literally uses that bloody 6'9" Dutch frame to just fucking stand over his opponent. She's there trying to get the shot in basketball. She's a normal sized person. He's bloody towering over and he's like, ha ha ha, and just knocks the ball down when she takes the shot. Very nicely done by HARSTEM there. He's still up against Broodlords though, and he's got Tempests. The problem is for Scarlett is that he hid the Tempests. So if she pushes now, he can come in and just one-shot all these Tempests. He's already got 5 Tempests with +1, which is the critical number you need to one-shot a Broodlord. She doesn't have any Corruptors. She's got nothing that shoots up. She's thinking about ground army because that's what she's been facing. And look at this. Zealot run by in the bottom could deny the gold. I think he'll go right past it. Uh-oh. And look at that. She's like, oh, shit. But good zoning Biles. At least she can maybe buy time to get these guys home. She just needs to build Corruptors. Even just 10 Corruptors would be enough to deal with that. The Lings on the top actually get a few of these Stalkers. Adrenal +2 Zerglings. Hot diddly damn. But oh my god. Uh-oh. Spines are going to get overrun. This base is taking damage. The Tempests do take out maybe 1 or 2 Broodlords, but not too many of them. It looks like, yeah, 2 Broodlords have died. And these Zealots, oh, look at that nice spready for HARSTEM, getting maximum value there. The Banelings on their own, not the best at defending these run-bys. And that's open. I think he should warp in Zealots and do that again. Keep hitting that south side. If he can deny this base as well, Scarlett's income is going to dry up. Now, obviously, both sides' income's not very high, and it's going to get a lot lower as these mineral patches are now mining out on these bases. But yeah, once again, Zealot run-bys coming in. Gold base is going to get exposed. HARSTEM surviving in this game way longer than I thought he would. I think she should just shove. This map, one of the big problems you run into is immobility because look at the spread of bases. Look at how far away this gold base is from this base in the top. And oh, she pulled back her Ravagers. Bit of a mistake there. And yeah, it's very, very hard. I actually think she should be sending a lot of her supply into Lingbane Ravager and just attacking the south side and trying to kill this base. Because the best defense on a map like this is an offense. You have to be aggressive. You can't just be like sitting in the middle because you will lose this base and this base before you even react. It's too spread. It's a wide front on this map when you get to this stage. And I think HARSTEM does have a bit more of a mobile composition, especially with the Warpins. Now, he's gone 8 Tempests, which is not just arguably too many. It's definitely too many unless he wants to one-shot Corruptors. What's 8 times 33, guys? Quick maths. Oh, shit. That's the magic number to one-shot Corruptors. Okay, HARSTEM's pretty smart, guys. I take it back. I'm like, why would you want to overkill Broodlords that bad? That's the only thing Tempests are good versus. I think he actually just wants to one-shot Corruptors and Vipers as well. So he wants to be able to one-shot the non-massive units. Oh, Kevin is a very smart lad. You guys can fact-check my maths in the comments on that. But I believe that's the perfect number, especially since there's no armor upgrades for those Corruptors. Tempests are coming on forwards. And Zealot's going to deny the 5th base one more time. Scarlett's going for the Mega late game. She's got 7 Infestors. She's got a Viper, 2 more Vipers on the way. She's only got 13 Corruptors, but I mean, it's only a Mothership and 8 Tempests. It's not carriers or anything like that. So the cool thing in the fight is you don't need to micro. You can like A-move and your Corruptors will actually be shooting useful things like Tempests and Motherships. Like, whereas when there's a carrier there, you need to focus fire and that just adds a little bit of micro load to what you have to do. Obviously, HARSTEM's good enough. You'll probably still focus fire in most scenarios. It's just not as vital. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, trying to defend even a small Zealot run by with Broodlords is so awkward, dude. A couple of Lings get cleaned up, but the Spine Crawler wall giving these Zealots a big face full of tentacle. And, I mean, some of them enjoy it. Zealots have been known to be into some kinky shit, but I don't think HARSTEM's enjoying his Zealots throwing their lives away like that. He is going to go carriers now. As I said, just a couple carriers. It's going to mess up the AI for Scarlett, send those interceptors out to tank a lot and to really ruin things. Scarlett is just getting a giant army, but it's hard for her to push into this. I think she can do it if she doesn't get tagged, but if he sees her coming, he'll pick off too many Broodlords before the fight starts. She also doesn't have an Overseer. She doesn't know there's an Observer there. Oh, that's a big problem. She's bringing an Overseer forward now. Because the thing is, if she can start launching on him, and then like, bam, snap a Tempest or 2 with her Corruptors, start landing Fungals maybe as well. If she can fungal this army in place out here and just jump on it, I do think she wipes the army. She's up 20 supply. She's sending a lot of Ling Ravager to the bottom left. I told you guys that I think that's what she should do. She abducts and kills the Oracle, which is very nice. I think maybe she lost a Corruptor for it. That's all right. It's a lot of Ravagers, man. This is a good fight. HARSTEM's going to lose this base. Does he have a lot of mining here? No. But it creates a little bit more room for Scarlett. Oh, get out of there, Scarlett. Interesting that he recalled. I was not expecting that. Just a couple of Archons. Oh, okay, Scarlett's like, yeah, I'll stay that, but oh, she's going to get surrounded though. So that is the downside. She'll take out a few Archons, but now the Ravagers are going to go down. At least she's focus firing them. I don't know if she's too worried about losing Ravagers. It's not an amazing trade, though. She does definitely lose those, and that means the 5th base is exposed. She's going to send some units down there. Broodlords are still in the top. She has no spines here. A single Zealot warping up here is going to ruin this base. Scarlett's moving her Broodlords away. She's got nothing up there. She's building Zerglings. They need to get up here quick, fast. These queens are in trouble. She realizes that she's weak here. She starts building spines. She's got a lot of energy. She does get rid of the Observer, which is nice. And okay, the Zerglings will come out just in time. Even a handful of Zerglings do very well versus Zealots, especially now that you've got Adrenal, but no +3 melee. +2 shields is done, +3 shields, +3 air weapons. HARSTEM's somehow managed to survive and drag his ass back into this game. Scarlett lacking a little bit of decisiveness with her early Broodlord push, getting lured away from crippling HARSTEM's economy. And I think that was the big point in this game where she missed that opportunity. Nice feedbacks on the Vipers. Remember as well that her initial Broodlords were like 4 or 5 minutes late. HARSTEM surviving this game is like ridiculous. Like he should have been dead so long ago. Imagine if her Broodlords came out 2-3 minutes earlier when her Great Aspire actually finished. So HARSTEM, I mean, honestly, what he's doing right now is some real impressive, not just surviving, but fighting back, feedbacking the Infestors, one-shotting those Infestors with feedback. Oh my lord, that is huge. And oh, she gets a fungal though. She gets rid of a High Templar and gets another fungal. Lots of High Templar going down. The Oracles did get out of there, but I think he's only got 2 High Templar left. Tempests are very nasty there. As I said, 8 Tempests. They can one-shot Corruptors, Vipers, any of these units. And HARSTEM has a very good forward position. Zealots will be able to defend the choke point versus those Zerglings. Spore Crawler's trying to move forward. It'll disappear almost instantly. Good focus fire on the Tempest. He's bullying her back right now. Might not be getting all the shots off at once, but that's because she's right on the edge of range. But she's not getting any hits off. He's getting all the hits off. She's trying to get +3 air weapons. A Broodlord goes down. Another Broodlord should get shot here. Remember, the Tempests are much faster, but oh, clicked on the wrong Tempest there. Another Corruptor gets shot. Another Corruptor gets shot. Scarlett's got to pull out of here. She's just losing units. She's bleeding them out super inefficiently. She's got to either go for the fight or not, but she's only got 6 Broodlords left. The Storm and the Archons! She gets the Mothership, -400, 400, but the Archons are keeping her Corruptors at bay. And that is a huge problem because if these Broodlords are gone and there's still Archons and Storm left, there's 1 Storm left. Watch out for the Psy Storm. That Psy Storm could ruin her. A couple of the Tempests go down. That was a HARSTEM. Whoa, Kevin, I don't know what that Psy Storm was. He hits a creep tumor with it, which is unaffected, and it looks like it doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter. Everything else he did in this fight was just too good. The Archons doing so much splash damage to the Corruptors, the Carriers, and the Tempests here, trying to get their work done. And I think they absolutely will. Ultras and Corruptors are being rebuilt right now by Scarlett, but I don't even know if it's enough Corruptors. She is out of bank, out of money, and HARSTEM still has a fresh base mining. Zerglings are running over, trying to do some damage to her. She's trying to get Anabolic Synthesis. That's right. She's going to get those TRT Ultralisks, the scariest kind of Ultralisks. But I don't know if it's going to matter too much because the Air Army's still there. Immortals are building. The Ultra can defend. Ling's coming in. Nice recall on these Air Army. Will defend those guys. Denies the Assimilator, which means that 200 gas won't get mined. These Infestors getting caught. Oh! Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself, HARSTEM? Why are you hitting yourself, says Scarlett. She manages to neural those Archons, gets a few of them down, but she doesn't have too many other units. 10 Corruptors versus 6 Carriers. 4 Tempests. I don't think she even wins that head-to-head fight. Remember, these are 6 supply units versus 2 supply units, so you've got, I think a Tempest's 4 supply, but still, that's what, 16 supply plus 36. So you got like 50 supply versus 20 supply of those air units, and it doesn't matter how much Corruptors counter you. HARSTEM trying to get rid of these Changelings. The Archon's much better for that since they have splash damage, but Scarlett's got the gold base. That's her lifeline. That's what gives her belief right now. This base is very well defended. This base has almost nothing left on it. Doesn't matter too much if he loses it. DTs are going to run in. Ooh, she doesn't want to be losing this economy, but no micro for HARSTEM. He's a bit distracted getting these Ultras. He traps 2 Ultralisks down here. Oh no. Burrow, Scarlett, hide. Hide in the ground. That Ultralisk. Oh, get a High Templar maybe? Oh, that would be hilarious. Gets a High Templar. Does eventually go down. Oh, the Corruptors find the Tempest. Oh my god, Scarlett bringing out some sick plays, but she's only doing it now because she's got nothing else to focus on. I mean, this is the classic thing, right? You've got no units left, and the few units you use left, you suddenly start using them like expert commando squads because you've got so much attention to put on those units, and it's kind of like, yeah, that's sick, but, you know, it's just like, well, you've already lost, though, in the war, right? You can have that last sniper take a few people out the front of the enemy army, snipe an officer down. You can do some cool little maneuvers, be some dickheads, start an insurgency, but the war's already lost. The production for HARSTEM, the economy is too big, and that means he's going to keep himself alive in this series. And this could have been a 3-0. This really could have been a 3-0. Scarlett's Broodlord tech was on fire, on point. But let's just cast our mind back to where this game where this game started. So she went for a 50 drone mass queen drop Ling Flood all in, and HARSTEM was going for like a 40-45 probe 9-gate charge lot Prism Oracle all in. So we saw two crazy builds basically clash heads, smash into each other. And the fact that we got this half-hour game out of it is super cool. I do think Scarlett is probably the one who missed more opportunities, but I gotta say, HARSTEM's movement and the way he kept her busy with Zealots and Prism all game long, it makes it like I feel like he forced mistakes out of her, and this is what you do with the Prism. The Prisms were so annoying. The Zealot run-bys were so annoying. The way he moved his army around, he just avoided the Broodlords. Remember, her Broodlords morphed here, and he got this base, and he led her around on a loop, and then he went all the way down and lured her back into the middle of the map while he moved to the south, and somehow he kept this base alive, which was his lifeline at that point. I mean, it was a really, really cool. Now, obviously, Scarlett doesn't know how low his economy is, so she's just hanging in here, giving it a shot. There's always people like, leave, that's bad-mannered to not leave the game. And you know, you gotta remember, this is a competition, money on the line, the players are fighting hard. Does she have a chance right now? No, but she doesn't see everything we see. And there is nothing worse than leaving a game where it turns out you actually had a shot, right? So she's just hanging in there, giving it a go. I think it's really bizarre that the StarCraft community has this mindset of like, oh no, like it's rude to not leave the game. Like you should give up. In a game of limited information, it could be a little bit ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. I understand why, you know, sometimes it is a bit weird to see people hanging way beyond when it's obvious they're out, but they don't get to see everything we see. And sometimes your perception in the game is very different to the reality, so always good to hang in there and fight it out. She goes for the fight. She's going to take down most of the Corruptors, but the Arc on Immortal stands strong. One more Storm lands, and she has to tap on out. HARSTEM by a bloody hair's breadth, hanging on by his fingernails, manages to climb back up onto the cliff face. He's not dead yet. All right, that one slipped away from her, but it was a chaotic game. Nothing to be too upset about, I don't think. She is now in the top right of Tropical Sacrifice. A rather pretty map. HARSTEM in the bottom left side. It's going to be going down there, getting that gateway. So it looks like Gateway Scout again. Not a big fan of blocking her expansion, interestingly. All right. Yep. Gate. Does he go 16 gas or 17 gas? Looks like HARSTEM's a 17 gas lad. Interesting. So I've been taking the gas slightly faster and then just delaying the chrono slightly, but I think HARSTEM's way would be a little bit more efficient. So definitely something I should pay attention to for my own play. And I guess actually, yeah, this probe still pops out. I mean, you can rally it onto the gas straight away. I'm surprised he didn't. And then he pulls one off minerals onto gas as well. That makes sense. All right, so he's going to come in and scout. Scarlett, of course, just going to go for that pool there. So hatch gas pool, standard opening for her. And notice the probe here is going to be what we call a dickhead. So he's trying to deny the mineral patch, forces Scarlett to bring her drone over. And good little disruption. And she just goes back to mining once he's disengaged. And then he can come in over here and do the same thing. And you can see just trying to be annoying, but she quickly pulls a drone to the rear of the mineral patch. And by getting a hit on him, that delays his shields from regenerating. So cool little micro dance there. Cybercore goes down into another probe. And interestingly, we saw Showtime actually going for the 21 Cybercore in Home Story Cup in some of his matches. So DNS and HARSTEM were actually talking about that one just, this is like literally earlier today in the day that I'm casting this. And yeah, DNS was saying, hey, if you go 21 Cybercore, it's like, it's just a little bit more efficient, he thinks. And yeah, it's nice and smooth there. Showtime as well, they were asking me about that. And just a little bit of a crisper opening. Apparently it's something that Classic used to do. But HARSTEM was surprised by that. So he's still sticking to the old school normie builds. Stargate is on the way nice and quick. Scarlett goes Ling speed. She pulls completely off gas. Now, I like to leave one on gas, but I actually think if we think about the styles she's been playing, it kind of makes sense to just pull off gas completely, focus on the minerals, get the third hatch down. Once again, though, she's just so not worried about adept pressure, so she's only built 2 Zerglings. She hasn't built anything as well. Like if he was like blocking her third with a pylon or anything like that, I mean, these are things, and the first time he goes across with the Adept, I guess this is why the Adept normally doesn't go across, right? It's because if you're not going to chrono the gateway units, you're not going to have a second one out in time, so the Lings can really distract. He pulls the Adept home as well, and these Lings going to get a full scout. Very nicely done by Scarlett. She's going to try and harass the workers on the gas, forces the Adept home. Now that the Adept's here, she knows she's like on a timer, so she just goes for that probe. Good micro by HARSTEM, but still feel like this is a very solid opening for Scarlett. She just follows this super mineral focused plan, really works on that economy so nicely. And guys, we've just got a comment in Twitch chat that says, have you guys ever noticed the Cybercore looks a bit like the Sydney Opera House? I mean, this bit kind of does. This little top bit, these little bits sticking out, it actually kind of does. I was so ready to roast you and just be like, that's the dumbest comment I've ever read in my life, but it kind of does. It's got some bloody fins on the back. It's a Stegosaurus building, man. Third Nexus does start up. We got an Evo chamber. Oh, very quick Evo. 340 this game, even earlier, maybe 335. She's going to get a very quick melee upgrade and going up to 7 queens behind it. There's a Spore here, but no queen. So the Oracle could dive, get 2 drones normally. If there's a Spore, usually happy to get 2, but just gets 1 and pulls back. Only takes 3 hits, so no actual hit points being gone. You can regenerate all that. Scarlett's on 42 drones versus 41, so she's maintaining her economic parity very well. HARSTEM is going for the 3rd gate. Now, this is normally where he'd go for the 3rd, and then the 4th gas, and then the Twilight, and then the Forge. Keep our eye on how he varies the build, and does Scarlett just mass Zerglings again? Or does she try to go a bit more economic, and maybe play just straight to like Roach, Ravager, Bane stuff? Oh! Oh, Scarlett! Moving her queens out of the base, a little lazy there. A little bit lazy for her. Does lose 5 workers. I mean, it's a double Oracle opening, even triple now with the 3rd, so it's not like it's a cheap opening. And oh, HARSTEM's going to find an opening again. Gets 1 more drone. Nice movement, but he takes some damage for it. Oof, a lot of damage, actually. Behind this, where's the tech? HARSTEM, I think he might be a little late on this. He's got his 4th gas up. He's just going to warp. Is he going to do the Stalker pressure again and try and cancel her 4th? He sees the 4th is up. I think he's going to do it, guys. Is she massing Zerglings? She's on 54 workers, but she's going to 60. She's not massing Lings this time, guys. So she's actually droning a bit harder than normal. She does go for the 5th base. She's put guys on gas, but she's going really greedy. If she can defend this hatchery, that would be huge. But, I mean, she couldn't defend it when she stopped at 54 or 55 drones, let alone going almost to 60. So I think she's not going to be able to do too much about this. Queens could move down there. I mean, she might be able to. She's only got 12 Zerglings out, though, so yeah. She's supply blocked on 82. Oof. Feels like I'm watching one of my own replays trying this build rather than Scarlett. She's normally a little bit tighter on the execution than that. Oh, she keeps 4 queens in the main. Oh, I love that she's keeping her queens split. See, I would have pulled every queen to the front, and he could have done a run by and done damage, but she gets an Oracle kill. Yes, she loses a hatchery, but she can replace that. Look at that. That drone is already heading out there to take that hatchery. +1 melee is almost finished. Roach Warren and the 3rd gas geyser goes down. And does she just hold the drone key down? I mean, she's not needing to drone up as hard. She's not as far behind economically as she was in the other games. But there we go. She does start adding these workers in little by little. And remember, she never dips under 3 base mineral saturation. That's the important thing. As long as she keeps that saturation up, I think she's happy. Now, HARSTEM might just think about... Yeah, quick 4th base. I was like, if you just think about a quick 4th base as your goal and then just survive. But he should definitely move his units over there. Otherwise, her Lings could cancel that 4th. She sees it. He's not there right now. The Oracle's diving in. He sees no drones on her 4th. He should be purely defensively focused right now. Lings running in from the bottom and on the top at the same time. Uh-oh. Battery overcharge, maybe? Okay, good force field. 4th base gets cancelled, though, by those Zerglings. So a successful harassment from Scarlett. She's up to 69 drones. And that empty 4th base that he saw, hopefully HARSTEM looks at that and realizes. Also, he does probe the natural wall, something I keep calling for Scarlett to try and break the wall, but HARSTEM has been really solid on always having a Stalker on hold position. He's always had the Zealot there as well. I love that Scarlett's being very active with her Lings, though. She could just click that gateway, tear it down, you know, very nice. With the cannon behind it, it's going to get expensive to keep doing moves like that. She's up to 75 workers now. Roaches, Bane speed, +2 melee, all on the way. And I would love to see Bane drops. And check it out. She's already got a Dropper Lord there and an Overlord up here. So she's already planning to do those Baneling drops with OV speed. And that's just going to give her a way of getting more mistakes out of HARSTEM, opening up new fronts to do damage so that he doesn't just have to focus on defending here and defending here. Archon's starting to come in pretty early as well here for HARSTEM. I love that. Archons are so good. Psystorm already as well. So HARSTEM really just saying, hey, just turtle, just survive. She's got good creep spread, but not completely dominating or anything like that. She hasn't even started an infestation, so I think SCARLETT really wants to get a move on. She's got some Lings ready to do run-bys down here. She's got a Bane drop. I'd love to see these guys all become Banelings and just roll into this base, because these probes have nowhere to run. If they don't get out the north side, they will not get out of there. She breaks the rocks on the north, accidentally bringing some drones, which is a problem. If she can start breaking these gateways as a distraction, roll these in as Banelings onto this base and hit a Baneling drop, this could be huge, but HARSTEM's also going to be distracting her. The multitask is going to be out of control. Baneling drop coming in from two sides. Oh, okay. But she's not microing it. The Stalkers distract her there, and that means that only gets 2 probes. It gets shut down. That one goes down as well without getting any damage done. Fantastic defense by HARSTEM, and that was the scariest point in the game. She's making Banelings on the bottom, but the Oracle can turn its laser on and deal with that. He's got a Prism in the main base as well. He's keeping SCARLETT super busy. Her queens are getting damaged. She tears a gateway down there. Oracle will turn its laser beam on and start taking out some of these Banelings. Warp Prism still alive over there. If she can get rid of that Warp Prism, it'll make her life a lot easier. I like the pullback on the Banelings. There's no way he's going to be missing that. And this full energy Oracle, such a useful resource here. It's the only one. So this top side is still suffering a little bit. 7 High Templar right now. That's a ton of Psystorm. SCARLETT has not gone up the tech tree. She desperately needs Broodlords. There's so much Psystorm in here, she's just going to get smashed in every early trade. He forgot charge! He's just started up charge. HARSTEM realizing there is his slow Zealots march into those Banelings. Oh no. Baneling Ravager coming in, but yep, Storm's take it out, man. Storm, Archon, Stalker taking that one on the face. Some gateways going down, the cannon going down. This Archon says, get wrecked, dickhead. And SCARLETT, she gets a few Zealots, but for that many Banelings, not a good trade. The Units Lost tab tells us a story, and that is 2-to-1 cost efficiency for HARSTEM. He's on 84 workers. Yes, SCARLETT has 92 probes, but she needs to keep Bane dropping the bottom or like Ling dropping. She needs to keep finding ways in. She's trying to tear these rocks down. The Archon Zealot, free kills for them. As she's only now starting the infestation, but you can tell SCARLETT wanted to keep this game simple by trying to win on lair tech. Well, it turns out now she's just at an impasse. She's picking off a unit or two, but for so many Zerglings and Roaches every time she does it, and HARSTEM's just like, all right, she's just throwing the kitchen sink at me. All I need to do here is survive. Oh, watch out, HARSTEM. Okay, the Banelings do get stopped by the Storm. Good probe pull, only loses a handful of probes there. Storms on the front are defending. HARSTEM's got to be careful. A bit of chaos happening now. I wouldn't mind a counterattack for him on the south just to force SCARLETT to react so she can't fully focus her micro here. The Prism also, if it could come in and hit one of these bases, maybe this base here would be a very, very effective target. Oracle's going to come over there and really start punishing SCARLETT for hanging out in this area. He's also going to do that counterattack on the bottom we talked about, as well as dropping Zealots on the top. Oh, friggin' juicy moves here for HARSTEM. He's all over the shop. He's everywhere. All over the shop in a good way. His Zealots are just methed up right now, charging on in there. No F's given. And they are going to take out a lot of these drones. The drones are trying to run on out of there. The Archon's trying to pull back right now. SCARLETT, where's her army? How does she defend? He's gonna push on the front as well. An opportunistic dive for HARSTEM. As she moves her army to the south, he pulls back on the south side and moves up on the north. The Oracle, this one Oracle that was on max energy, is still being an absolute pain in the bloody ass. And SCARLETT, she's taking so much damage. Zealots in the main base. This is a problem. You cannot fight against a maxed out Immortal Archon Zealot army with Storm, with Ravager Bane, because you simply can't split your army up. The way HARSTEM is spreading his army, she needs to micro her Banelings into the middle of the Zealots in 3 different locations, which is impossible. No one has the APM to do that. Not only does she need to split the numbers carefully when he's constantly changing the rearrangement of where his army is and how she has to engage it, but he's also got Archons, he's got Storm that she's got to deal with. He's denying her bases, he's damaging her economy. Somehow she's still at 80 drones, but she's losing the top base, she's losing the bottom bases, and he is just relentless. HARSTEM just switching on the aggression, and SCARLETT is just taking massive damage. Yes, she's got a hive up, but she hasn't done anything with it just yet because she has not had any room to breathe. She tried to force the issue on the lair tech. He shut it down with solid defense of the double Bane drops. And Kevin de Koning, Kevin the King, Kevin, Mr. HARSTEM. People are like, you're a washed up YouTuber. He's like, oh yeah? Eat my balls, internet comments that are hating on me. HARSTEM here, fighting back in this series. He will not get 3-0'd. He will not get 3-1. He is going to be fighting back in this series and forcing it to the final map. Look, the Zealots are in there. I mean, she's just got nothing. She's got a handful of roaches and ravages. She's got so much money in the bank. Once again, she is out of lava, so she definitely could have used some macro hatcheries with this style. Playing up to 90 plus drones. I mean, maybe she could have defended if she spent this money, right? But she's just been getting all of her lings drained out on every side, and this army is cascading forward, smashing Cannon Zealot, easily defends her. And I mean, the Archon count is monstrous. Look at that beautiful spready from HARSTEM, mate. Beautiful spready. The Banelings dying as they try to morph, and he has just choked her out of this game, not giving her any room to recover. She's still trying to just mass roaches and ravages, trying to hang on. But as she chases into the choke point, my God. Storms, absolutely beautiful. 3.5k, 1400 in the bank. These are frustrating ways to lose these games. SCARLETT, she's getting into good positions the previous game and this game, but she's not able to keep pace with him in the late mid game. He's managing to drag it out and smash her in the long game. All right. Fighting back from behind. And he said, game 5. All right, let's go greedy. HARSTEM going for the gas first opening. He's going to skip scouting entirely. SCARLETT is going for hatch first, so it's going to pay off. He's going to get away with it. HARSTEM is saying, you know what? There's no way in the deciding match. She is going to gamble on a 12 pull, and he's going to be so happy when that minute 57 mark comes around and he sees no Zerglings coming across the map. This is inside out, by the way, guys. So this is a map where you actually can wall off pylon, and there's very limited surface area to break out. So it would have been cool to see HARSTEM bring that cheese out here and just abuse her with a cannon rush. But I mean, I say cool, it would be like really dirty as well. And I think SCARLETT's going to be very happy that she's not going out to that. I haven't actually tested to see if the drone drill breaks out of that yet or not. Like if you get all your drones and spam click on this mineral patch or this mineral patch, will they stack up on the pylon so you can all attack at it? Because if so, you might just be able to get out of that quite easily. Anyways, Nexus goes down on 20 supply. You can see he's already got 3 guys on gas. This is the beauty of not scouting and getting your gas first up. You just have so much more resources, and he will go for that Cybercore scout. So beautiful opening for HARSTEM. He's going to take a small economic lead. SCARLETT's already moving out to a 3rd, though. And that's because she saw no probe scout. So she's reacting to the fact that he's playing greedy by dropping a 3rd hatchery. Oh, okay. So SCARLETT, she says, you play greedy, me play greedy. This is interesting to see. So that's fascinating. She builds a queen here, 2 Zerglings. Obviously, you can't afford the extra queen. She's just continuing droning for now as well. And meanwhile, HARSTEM, I imagine that Stargate goes down. Yeah, probably could have been down about a second earlier there maybe, but wanted to make sure he got the Adept and the Probe started first, so fair enough. And now he can just rally down to this natural and have such a sick economic start. I also like the Adept going to pressure in this scenario. Whoa! Ling speed and a Roach Warren. She skips the second queen in the main and goes a Roach Warren. What in the heck? Oh, SCARLETT, game 5. Planning a dirty all in, but HARSTEM's actually going to Adept pressure this time, I think. He should let that shade finish. No, he doesn't let the shade finish, but okay, her job is to distract with these Zerglings. She's got to distract, keep the Adept on this side of the map. So notice she's going to lure him back here. She's like, yeah, the Zergling will die, but your Adept's not scouting. And look at that. So she's already wasted a bunch of the Adept's time. And now the Adept might not want to move across the map because it's already getting close to when Ling speed finishes. And the Stargate going for an Oracle is HARSTEM. Here comes, okay, so 6 Lings are coming out. That's enough to beat the Adept or potentially even the Stalker if they surround it. Ling speed's almost done 6 roaches, so she's doing a Ravager Ling all-in off 22 drones. This is a huge gamble and a gigantic all-in. Problem for HARSTEM is he's focusing on killing the Overlord. If his Oracle goes across the map, he'd see the roaches coming. But because the Oracle and the Stalker are clearly going for the Overlord, this plays into SCARLETT's hand. It means that she can just surround the Stalker, keep the Oracle at home, and all she needs to do is keep HARSTEM's units here so he doesn't see the roaches. And look at that, he turns on his Oracle energy. Oh, that's such a disaster for HARSTEM. And he doesn't get the Overlord. He's starting a 3rd base. He has no vision at all. Remember, we've talked this whole series about how he's never sending his Adept across the map, never getting any scouting, and he has no idea. Oh my god, he has no idea. The Adept isn't even in the wall right now. Oh my lord, HARSTEM is completely dead. He's got a second Oracle on the way. The Stalker's going down. He's going to get this depowered. Just, oh, no. Warp Gate finish. At least Warp Gate finish, right? I mean, Warp Gate finishes, but the gateways aren't powered. Does it even matter? 2 Oracles. There's no battery in the main. There's nothing here. The Oracles will turn on their lasers. The probes are going to try and surround. HARSTEM pulls the boys and goes for the big surround. He tries to do whatever he can. But my God, the teammates bringing out the dirty build. She says, look, your openings are really good. They're really powerful. Yeah, I'm getting in an okay position. But you know what? You're really neglecting your scouting. And I'm going to punish you in game 5. And that is such a risk to do this. Because imagine if he doubled down on his scouting in this game. He could have seen this coming and shut it down with an earlier Void Ray by full walling his base. Any of these things would have just shut it down if he had any inkling. But the way she set this up was brilliant. She breaks down that follow-up pylon. He's only got a Void Ray. He's on 21 workers, and he has a shield battery. So maybe, as long as he can get some probes, yeah, as long as he doesn't lose the shield battery. But nah, look at that. Scarlett's too smart. She's building 3 queens behind this. She's droning now. She's like, yep. I mean, as long as I get 4 queens up, I can defend your 2 Oracle Void Ray counterattack. You're going to be on 1 base here. The Oracles do turn on their laser beam. But yeah, Scarlett, she can just tear that pylon down. HARSTEM knows he's dead on 1 base versus 3 hatchery. And what a dirty, disgusting, and yet well-planned and very intelligent way to finish the series. Scarlett was way ahead. It could have been a 3-0 if she got those Broodlords out in time on Cosmic Sapphire. In the end, though, she resorts to a dirty trick, but a very smart one. And that's why StarCraft, you got to be able to play everything. That was really bloody well done. I love this series, though, and I love that both of these players showed up in such sick form for this tournament. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.